The same story 3 games in a row? Let's start with who's to blame. Glenn Rivers. Because I don't understand how you got the nickname Doc, okay? You don't even know how to do CPR because you can't stop your players from choking all the time.
Is a issue that they're going to have to address because the process has all been about these young men growing together and competing for a championship. And you've gotten yourself to the best record in the Eastern Conference, but not able to get over the hoop because of the mental challenges of your second best player. That has to be addressed.
There's just an agonizing delay here to get to the finish line. That debris coming on the floor, they'll just put it in bounds. The clock's going to tick. And Atlanta, your Hawks, are headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 6 years. Nate McMillan and the Atlanta Hawks win Game 7 on the road in Philadelphia. And it'll be Hawks-Bucks Wednesday on TNT for the right to go to the NBA Finals. What a performance by Atlanta on the road. Their 5th road win in these playoffs, Jimmy.
But let's backtrack. Nate McMillan takes over. He started the process of getting this team mentally tougher to be able to compete in environments like this. Did he know it was going to come to a Game 7? No, but he knew at some point their mental aptitude would be tested. And it was this evening. They stepped up to the calls. How about Kevin Herter controlling the offense when Trae Young couldn't find his shot? But then at the end of the game, your main man stepped in and made 3 huge baskets when they needed it.
If I told you a Hawks first-round draft pick would have had a big impact from the 18 draft, you'd have probably thought maybe Trae Young would be that guy. It was Kevin Herter tonight, who was also a first-rounder in that draft. 19th pick overall. Young, of course, that famous trade.
And when asked about losing Game 7 of the second round for the second straight year and another second round failure, your response about self-reflection.
And second year in a row where your teams have been in good spots in the second round and it's not going your way. Is there an element of self-reflection that has to be done in that? And what are the lessons to be learned for you?
That we lost and we want to win. If it was the same team, Austin, I would actually justify that question. But since it's 2 different teams, listen, this team last year got swept in the first round. We had a chance to go to the championship, to the Eastern Finals. I'm not going to make this into a negative year.
Really? You're really that stubborn? Wow. Alright, so those clips I just showed, yeah, that's probably going to get this hit with a copyright, but whatever. So, yeah, already 3 minutes in, but what's going on, everyone? It's Nick, and I do hope you all had a wonderful Father's Day. And hey, if you could please like the videos, that'd be much appreciated. Only takes 1 second, really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. If you're new here and you've yet to subscribe, if you can please do that, that'd be much appreciated. I cover basketball, baseball, and football on this channel. If you love any of those 3 sports, this is definitely the place for you. Although, I'm mostly covering the NBA playoffs right now. And also, if you could please hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future live streams or future uploads, that'd be much appreciated. Oh yeah, and for those who showed up to my live stream for this game, thank you so much, although I apologize for being late because I mixed up the time somehow. Stupid me. And also apologies for the Wi-Fi cutting out and me having to reboot the stream in the second half. But okay, let's get going. So, Doc Rivers choked again. I would say it's more on Ben Simmons than anyone else, but Doc Rivers definitely choked. He choked again. Second year in a row where he loses a Game 7 in a series he's favored to win. And he was favored to win last year too. And this time against an inexperienced team. And the fact that he doesn't consider this a failed season when he was the number 1 seed and lost in the second round? Wow. You lost a game where Trae Young shot 5 for 23. Did you not see the crowd reaction at the end of the game? I'm not saying that's acceptable, but sounds like a very similar story. The fans care more than you do. Not to mention, you lost this game on your home floor. And talking about some of your rotations, Matisse Thybulle in the game with Ben Simmons. Like, really? Like, I get that you're trying to tighten up your defense, but that's just terrible spacing, and you know this. And the lineups with 3 guards in the game, yeah, not a fan of that. Or having Tobias Harris in there with the bench unit. Okay, Doc Rivers is better than Brett Brown. Fine, I will give him that, but we can't set the bar that low if you're trying to win a championship. Like, okay, Doc Rivers isn't the worst coach in the NBA, but he certainly isn't a good one. And it still blows my mind that he actually won a championship before. You know what? Kudos to Tom Thibodeau for that championship and the players for that 08 run. You're right, Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible, like Doc Rivers winning a championship. Except for when coaching a team that isn't the Celtics. And you needed 7 games to beat a sub-500 Hawks team in the first round that year, and 7 to beat a Cavs team that LeBron was carrying. The 2007 carry job by LeBron is a little exaggerated when looking at how good the defense was that year, but 2008, yeah, that was a legit carry job by LeBron. But anyways, so look where the Clippers are now, and yeah, much like Dwayne Casey and Nick Nurse, Doc Rivers' own assistant in LA is better than him. Ty Lue, once again, my sincerest apologies to him for ever doubting him, has taken the Clippers where they've never been before. Doc Rivers, you have still yet to get out of the second round since 2012 when I was 18 years old. Your last second round victory was against an 8th seed who likely wouldn't have made it out of the first round if Derrick Rose didn't tear his ACL. And you had to go to 7 games against them, the Uncut Gems series. And we all know about last year's infamous 3-1 blown lead. And this year, an 18-point lead and a 26-point lead blown in this series. Like, Doc Rivers, all I do is choke, choke, choke no matter what. Like, that should be your motto at this point. I saw his tweet a while ago. I don't know where the screenshot is. I'm not going to go try to find it, but whatever. Lou Williams must have told his team, hey, we can keep doing the same thing because we know Doc isn't going to make adjustments. I would actually believe that if Lou Williams really did do that. And hey, not only did Doc Rivers have another second round failure, not only did his former team get to the conference finals with a different coach, his former star player, Chris Paul, is in the conference finals for the second time in 4 years after he left the Clippers. And Lou Williams and Danilo Gallinari, 2 more former Clippers, they're in the conference finals now. But Joel Embiid, you played really hard. Can't really fault you too much. Could Embiid have done some things better? Yeah, he definitely could have. Like, he did choke in game 4, and he did have 8 turnovers in this game, but he did play his ass off through a torn meniscus. And in this game 7, he scored 31 points, so I gotta give him some credit for that. And Tobias Harris, yeah, he definitely should be blamed to an extent. His numbers look fine for the series, but game 7, 8 of 24, 33% from the field. And 2 for 7 from 3. And in game 5, only 4 points on 2 of 11. So yeah, it's definitely safe to say Tobias Harris is not a second option on a championship team. I don't even know if he's really a third option on a championship team. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little too reactionary, but you definitely can't rely on him as much as you did. But let's talk about Ben Simmons, the biggest scapegoat of them all. You've been in the league for 4 years now. Well, 5 if you include the one he sat out with an injury, the year he was drafted. But anyways, this is why I'm getting league pass next year, because the connection with these streaming sites is fucking horrific and I fucking had enough of it. But okay. But how you were able to spin move on Danilo Gallinari to the basket, and you gave up an open dunk to Matisse Thybulle, and he missed a free throw. Ben Simmons, you gotta dunk that. You gotta go straight to the basket. And you dunk that, it's a tie game. But instead, still down 1 in the next possession, the Hawks go up by 3. And then after that, they go up by 6. Yeah, and then that was pretty much the icing on the cake. Like, if only my stupid streaming site worked the way it should, I would have reacted to it a lot more strongly than I did during my live stream. But here I am reacting to it now. Come on, do you even care? And look at Joel Embiid's reaction to this. Shout out to the flight mic. Like, oh my god, you can tell he's thinking the same thing as we are. I remember Kobe saying that Ben Simmons will regret not developing a jump shot, and I would say he was right about that, but I'm beginning to doubt that he even cares. And I know me saying anything on YouTube won't change anything because he'll just laugh his way to the bank, and you know what? Good for you to have all that money. Keep securing that bag. But if you want our respect, or respect around the league, if you really want to elevate your game, at least show that you care. Like, We're not asking you to be a sharpshooter. We don't need you to be the next Steph Curry or Ray Allen. At least be a respectable shooter. In the playoffs, a half-court game is a necessity. And not only can you not shoot, you have no post-up game. And in this whole series, for 7 games, only 3 shots in the fourth quarter. 3! That is so soft for how gifted of an athlete you are. Only 3 fourth quarter shots in 7 games. That is unacceptable. And how about for once and for all, never ever mention him in the same breath or even the same galaxy as Earvin Magic Johnson. It should be a felony to even compare him to Magic Johnson ever again. And hey, Magic Johnson did actually become a respectable 3-point shooter later on in his career, for those who are wondering. And he didn't shoot a lot of threes because of the play style of the era that he played in. But you know what else? He actually was a good free throw shooter. Almost 85% from the line for his career. How come Magic would not work? And Magic Johnson sure never had a playoff series where he shot below 40% from the free throw line. And Magic had a lower turnover percentage when he played with less spacing. So yeah, no more comparing Ben Simmons to Magic Johnson. End of story. It is a spit in the face to Magic Johnson, the greatest point guard of all time. Arguably the greatest Laker of all time. Between Kobe and Magic, pick your poison. Now I do think that Ben Simmons should have won Defensive Player of the Year over Rudy Gobert. And he had to do a lot right on defense for Trae Young to shoot that poorly. Like, I will give Ben Simmons that, but for his offense to be that limited, there's no way the Sixers can make a deep playoff run if this is going to be a guy that they're going to rely on to be a star player for them. And for him to not improve 4 years into his NBA career, not including the one he sat out because of injury, it's unacceptable. But back to Doc Rivers, like, how are you not holding him accountable for this? You suck, Doc Rivers. Now, I do also think that not having Danny Green did hurt. It's not a coincidence that he's been a starter for 3 championship teams, but it's still not an excuse for losing this series. I know Korkmaz is not good enough to be a starter, but Danny Green is still a role player, so it's a series you should have won with or without him, so yeah, you just have no excuses, period. So yeah, another Doc Rivers choke job. Yeah, I'm going to do this again, the Reggie Miller choke sign. And he definitely deserves plenty of the blame. I can't say it's surprising anymore at this point, but the players need to be blamed too, and no one deserves it more than Ben Simmons. Seth Curry can walk out with his head high. He and Joel, absolutely. Joel, yes, like I said, he could have done some things better, but he played hard through a torn meniscus. That's really mostly what I can ask from him, and for Seth Curry to put up 21 points per game in this series on ridiculous efficiency when he's supposed to be a role player, I definitely cannot fault him for that. Also, shout out to Mojo99, who is a Hawks fan, one of the guys who inspired me to make YouTube content, and I have talked to him on Instagram. I keep forgetting, but links to my social media are in the description, and he has showed up on my live stream, so thank you, Mojo, for that, even though you couldn't make it to this one. It's all good though, but congrats, Mojo99, and on the Also Rusty Buckets video when he FaceTimed you, you made me laugh out loud when you said there's regular ass and there's Ben Simmons ass. Like, I also do have to give Danilo Gallinari a shout out though for scoring 14.7 points per game off the bench. Other than in game 5, he had a very solid series off the bench, and in this game he scored 17, so clap it up for Danilo Gallinari for that. But so much for the Sixers, tanking for all those years to still not get past the second round and to lose to a 5th seed as a number 1 seed. Sixer fans watching this, I'm really sorry for you guys. For Philly sports fans in general, well, I'll never sympathize for the Eagles, and if the Eagles ever go 0-16, you know I'm just gonna laugh. But for the Sixers, who I have nothing against, yeah, I really do feel sympathy for you. You know, maybe it is time to break up the Simmons and Embiid duo by now. I don't know, am I being too reactionary or what? No, I'm actually strongly leaning towards trade Ben Simmons. Get him out of here at this point. So, alright, that's the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. What's next for the Sixers? Let me know who you think is going to win the finals. The fact that no number 1 seed is actually in the conference finals right now, that's crazy, right? Also, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. And also remember to follow me on social media. I will see you next time. Peace.